Mesopotamia in the Classical Era. Although much of its history occurred in the ancient time period, Mesopotamia's culture and religion had very large influence on others during the Classical Era. Even after Babylon and Assyria were abolished due to Arab invasion, their culture remained evident throughout the years. Mesopotamia was a civilization with polytheistic religions, worshipping gods such as Ashur, Ishkur, Sin, and Nabu. However, there were also many demons the population believed and feared, like Lilith and the infamous Pazuzu, featured in the 1970s horror film The Exorcist. Although most of these gods and demons originated during the classical time period, their influence remained evident in the classical period as well. The Assyrian era ended right as the classical era arose. Babylon rose up and captured the Assyrian capital to drive them out of power. In 550 before Common Era, the Persians took over Mesopotamia. Under the king Cyrus the Great, the Persians took control of the land, and after conquering it, he allowed the Jewish slaves to return to their homeland of Israel. In 522 BCE, Darius I became ruler of the Persians. One significant thing he did was divide the country into states and call those satraps. In 490 BCE, the Greeks took over Mesopotamia. They remained in power, and in 300 BCE, Alexander the Great became the ruler over Greeks and Mesopotamia. Controlling this land proved to be very important for Alexander the Great's campaigns in Persia. Many years later, the Parthian Empire took control of the area, and then throughout the years 114 and 116 Common Era, Rome conquered that land. And then throughout the later half of the classical period, Mesopotamia was controlled by the Romans. It was a province on the southeastern border of the Roman Empire and remained that way throughout the classical era.